Welcome to the Holy Hour, guys. This is Gavin coming to you late one night on a school night here. But this is important stuff and you need to hear it. The 2016 World Tour is in full swing and our buddy Arusha is out in the trenches bringing us quality material, basking in the glory of the Texas portion of the Cure Tour, letting us all know some immediate reactions from these shows. For those of you that were in the Texas area and saw some of these shows, you can relive the glory. And for the rest of us that couldn't make it, we can vicariously live through these reviews. Like I said, this is a couple of snippets from Arusha Baker, director-producer of Cure documentary called Push, that'll be coming out. I'll give you more scoop on that at the end of this episode, so listen through. And basically, this concludes the Texas portion of the tour, and they're going to be kicking off the California leg of the tour this weekend. So I wanted to get these Texas shows out to you as soon as possible. But I'm going to kind of let the clips speak for themselves here, just to give you the rundown. The first one is Jeff and Arusha post the Austin show. And then we have Jennifer and Arusha giving a little pre-conversation to the El Paso show. And that is followed by Jennifer giving us a call with her friends Christine and Lauren after the El Paso show. So we have a little pre and post El Paso. Seems like the rarities got all the talk of the town on these shows. So anything's possible at this point. Let's go to the clips and see firsthand what is going on in Texas.
Hey, you're listening to the Holy Hour podcast, and this is Arusha from Push, a Cure fan documentary, and Jeff.
Howdy, y'all.
We just rounded our 3-day adventure together in Austin, Texas. Third Cure show in a row. Batteries are about to die. It's night 3 of our journey in following the Cure. We're going to do a review for the Holy Hour podcast. And you have to pardon me, Gavin and team. I'm really, really, really tired, but the show was excellent. So I'm going to let Jeff start.
I'm a little parched, pardon me, y'all. It was a fantastic show. I'm going to try to bring Arusha into this. I've seen The Cure, I want to say 24 times. I want to say that was my 24th time. I've said that I've seen The Cure 24 times before, but I don't remember exactly how many times it's been. It's been in its 20s. How many times have you seen The Cure, Arusha?
I mean, I want to say like 100 or something. I don't know. I know it's over 80. So I'd have to like go and count, and I can't.
So just guess. You're just giving these nice people
104.
104. That's a good number. So I've seen The Cure like 24 times. You've seen The Cure 104 times. That was my favorite Cure show that I've ever seen.
Really?
And the fact that Arusha's got to make this movie about Cure fans means that we don't get to talk about it like we would if she wasn't making a movie about Cure fans. If she wasn't such a dedicated Cure fan, that she was just another person sitting in the car, she wouldn't be so tired. We would be tired from how much we danced, which reminds me of why the best concert I've ever seen is Prince, because ultimately what I love about seeing live music is dancing. And dancing to Fascination Street with the best large crowd I've ever been in was fantastic. It was a unique and exciting experience that I felt a kinship to Austin that I didn't anticipate that I'd feel, because how do you know when you go to these different places you've never been that you'd be able to lose yourself in the crowd? We had fantastic seats. I like to say off ice because I'm from San Jose, although I like to admit it.
I don't know what off ice means.
I'll explain it. Because I'm from San Jose, I think of the San Jose Arena. where I saw them, and that's a hockey rink arena. So off ice means just off the floor. So we were the second row off ice, just to the right of the stage.
Can I also just on that say that the people at this venue were really sweet, and when I was filming Cure Fans outside, I just everything like about the people working at the venue, the stage setup, everything was really cool. And we heard the Exploding Boy. That was amazing. Exploding Boy. We heard the Exploding Boy.
We saw the Exploding Boy for the first time.
Which Jeff kind of
I called it. I totally called it.
Which was so weird.
I called it in a joking way. What I did, maybe a quarter into the show, we were calling to each other what the next song would be, and I was right most of the time.
I know, it's weird. He's got a weird
It's not
radar.
weird, it's that I've paid attention.
It's weird! In a good way. It's like...
It's old hat. Anywho, and I mean, it's just probability because we saw 3 shows in a row and they're preparing for a tour. Anywho, I would kind of make a suggestion. It might happen, it might not. Arusha would do the same, similar results. And then I turned to her during a song that we weren't particularly excited about, and I said, I keep wanting to turn to you and say the next song is the Exploding Boy, but I didn't want to make a joke about it because you don't fuck around with that shit, because they don't fucking play the Exploding Boy, and it's the fucking, at least for the Dream Tour, there were all these fuckers with Exploding Boy signs, and it might have happened since 1986, I don't know, but there were a shitload of them in the 2000s, and we knew it wasn't going to happen.
I've been wanting to hear that song since 1986.
Because it's great.
It's an amazing song.
It's a great song.
I used to DJ a club, and we used to play it in like the first, few weeks that the club existed. Nobody danced to it, and then by the end,
it's a club hit for San Francisco. Everybody loves the Exploding Boy, or it was to the album version.
I don't know if
fantastic.
I'd say they'd play it perfectly. We are going to run out of batteries, and I do have to say that there were some technical difficulties, although Jeff says it was his favorite show, which is great. It was an amazing show. There were some technical difficulties, which was interesting.
Even within, let's say there was technical difficulties within the Exploding Boy, it's irrelevant to how much I enjoyed it.
Of course.
And there are times...
Agreed. I was beside myself.
There are times... what was the song that I said was that was the best version ever? Like the Reeves version was the best version ever?
Oh, God. Shake Dog Shake.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I remember a thing I wanted to say, so y'all get to hear this.
Okay, look at where the battery is, so don't get mad. We may have to... Let's pause and reload the batteries.
The reason why I think Wrong Number works, even though it's not my favorite song, is that not only did Reeves play guitar on the original version from Greatest Hits, but because I remember an interview with Robert where he was talking about talking to David Bowie during the 50th birthday party thing. But talking to David, who was a huge influence to Robert, which should be clear even if you haven't heard him say it. As he is to everyone, including myself and Arusha, I'm sure, and y'all. David talked to Robert about lyrics, and David said that the lyrics don't really matter. They don't have to mean anything, and that was part of the mindset that Robert had when writing the lyrics for Wrong Number. So to hear Wrong Number with Reeves Gabrels, who was the first guitarist I saw with David Bowie, touched me, because I felt like it was a little closer to Bowie than I would have gotten otherwise. So I found that really profound. And it's not my favorite song, but that doesn't matter, because it was really cool, and it was really cool to hear the Reeves guitar solo live again, which I'd seen before in San Jose. We saw the Exploding Boy, and no one had ever seen it before, and Austin was the best audience I've ever seen a Cure show in any of the cities, states, or countries. So thanks, y'all.
Yeah, and one really cool thing that's starting to happen, and maybe it happens in other stadium shows now, is the lighters have been replaced with cell phone lights, which was really beautiful. But it was funny because Robert, which I'm sure everybody's already heard because everybody has the internet, but he said that he prefers flames, actual lighters, to cell phone lights because maybe that we'd burn down the building and that'd be very dramatic. I thought that was funny. He was very funny. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Have fun at those Cure shows. Rock on. Hey, this is Arusha from Push, a Cure fan documentary director and producer, and you're listening to the Holy Hour podcast. And I'm going to call this the Texas edition, even though I'm not in Texas at all. I'm actually in Arizona with one of my oldest Cure friends, Jennifer.
Hello.
Hi, Jennifer. So I thought that, Gavin, what I'd do, since Jeff and I did give a recap, which maybe you'll edit together with the first part, but one thing that I think happens as a traveling Cure fan, as a person that goes to multiple shows, you go to the shows and it hits you like a ton of bricks and it's really exciting and emotional. And then when you leave, it kind of hits you again. And it hits you again, and it comes in these waves, and you start to see posts of people at other shows, and you get jealous. But I'm sad that I can't be at 1,000,001 Cure shows. But what I think is really beautiful about music is that since, what's today, Monday? So I saw the Austin show on Friday, Jennifer, and I still can't believe that I saw the Exploding Boy.
I can't believe it.
I saw the Exploding Boy the first time it was ever played ever.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
It's awesome.
How many times did we talk about seeing songs like that, knowing that we'd never see them?
We did not think that would ever happen. Yeah, I'm jealous. I hope I get to see it.
And just to give a tiny backstory, Jennifer and I met in 1996 during the Swing Tour. Like I said with Jeff, I met Jennifer on the sidewalk, meaning, yeah, she was just sitting on the sidewalk. No, we were both independently following the Cure with two different groups of people.
Yeah.
And you can't give away your big secret because you have to save that for my movie. But at this point, when we met up, Jennifer was traveling with a couple people, and I was traveling with a couple people.
Are you talking about outside San Jose?
Yeah.
That's where, yeah. I think I might have seen you before, but we hadn't talked or something. Like, you had been at some of the other shows I had been to, but we didn't actually meet, I don't think, until San Jose. I think talk to each other,
Right. I think, it's sort of, with all due respect to all kinds of Cure fans, there are different kinds of people out for different reasons. And
yeah.
So after I stalked the van to the hotel, and I think I saw Jennifer and her friends there, it's awkward. It's like you do this thing of that's kind of weird. Like you follow the bus to the hotel. And that's how I actually met the Cure. But when I did it, I was kind of embarrassed. But that's, I think, the first time I saw you. And I realized that it wasn't really a terrible thing to do. It's just something that I think the Cure and other bands probably expect, being super rock stars, right?
Yeah, it seems like, I didn't realize this until that tour, but it seems like a lot of people do that and are crazy about, when they follow the bus and stuff, trying to cut you off and other things. It's kind of crazy situation. But, yeah, it seems like it happens all the time.
I just realized the air is on. Try to help sound. Sorry, maybe we can suffer through the heat for a minute for the podcast. So yeah, I wanted to say to Jennifer that first of all three sets were insane. They sounded really good.
Yeah.
With the amount of Cure shows that we've seen, it was funny to see little things, like I said, during, I think it was night 2, Plain Song, there's a little glitch that I noticed that Jeff didn't notice.
You saw this Twilight Garden? That was the first time that's ever been played live, too, I believe.
Yeah.
So you saw at least 2 songs the first time ever performed live.
But what's interesting is, like, it started, like, I remember Jeff was actually joking about seeing the Exploding Boy, like, that's never gonna happen. And then it started, and it happened so fast in the relative terms of being a fan for 30 years. Oh, like I said, like, now that I'm sitting, you know, I'm having some time off, visiting my parents. I don't know. It's just really incredible. It's a really incredible experience, and I thought that maybe this time I would be satisfied and not need to go to any more Cure shows, but I don't feel that way at all. So how do you feel in anticipation?
I'm really excited, but it didn't, like, hit me that I'm gonna be seeing them until, like, probably today. I mean, I was starting to get excited, but, you know, it's kind of like you were just saying. It's not really until I'm there and I see them come out and I hear the music, and then it gets, you know, extremely emotional. I mean, just driving here today, I was listening to Entreat, and I was getting emotional because I was remembering, like, the first time I heard that album when I was a teenager, and how I used to listen to it all the time, and just all, like, those emotions that I have for the music, and all of those emotions come up for me when I'm seeing them live. And especially when I see a song that I've never seen before, or a song that is a B-side, or, like, a rarity. You know, it's not Friday I'm in Love, it's something, you know, one of the other, like, true diehard fan songs that we love, you know, something like The Figurehead or something like that, you know, At Night or something like that. And it is such a surreal experience when you're there and you hear the song. It's like, you know, you're hearing it, but you kind of, like, don't believe that it's actually happening and that you are hearing it. But I mean, I would have never guessed the Exploding Boy or this Twilight Garden, but I mean, at this point, I feel like they're gonna play anything. I mean, at first I thought that was the first time they played Burn. I love that song, but then I saw that I forgot that they played it in 2013.
Yeah.
And that was the first time. But still, they hadn't normally played that song. So, like, I would have never thought I would see that song live. And I used to listen to that over and over, and I saw The Crow like a million times when it came out in the theater. I was talking to my parents about that yesterday. They were laughing at me because they remember how I kept going to the theater to see that. But
did you go because of The Cure, or did you go because you loved the movie?
Well, I went, the first time was for The Cure, but then I actually loved the movie, so then I kept going back, really, just because I love the movie, too. But there's other good songs, too, on that soundtrack.
That's true, the Nine Inch Nails. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stereo. Who are you traveling with to where are you going? Where are you going this time?
Okay, so all the shows you want to know, all the shows I'm going to? Is that what you want to know? I
mean, I was just thinking about the first one, but
okay, yeah.
You can say the list that you're going to.
So tomorrow I'm going to El Paso, and it's about a 6.5-hour drive from my house. And then I'm going with my friend Christine, who I met through my European Cure friend, Vicky. And we went to some shows in Italy together in 2012. I was living in London at the time, so it was really easy for me to get to Italy.
Oh, jealous.
And we saw Just One Kiss.
Oh, so jealous. Somehow I blocked that out of my memory.
We saw some other stuff too, but anyway, so I've traveled with her before. She lives in Seattle, but so she's coming with me. My other friend, Lauren, I met him on the Swing Tour, and I hadn't seen him in person in like 16 years, and then I discovered he was living in Phoenix, and so we met up like about 7 months ago or something at a ride show. But anyway, he's coming, and then we're meeting another fan that I met on the Swing Tour in El Paso. So it's going to be like a total 4 of us, counting myself. And so we have floor seats. Well, standing, I should say. Floor standing. So we're going to get as close as possible, and I'm hoping it's going to be a great set list. I've never been to El Paso, but it's kind of crazy because I'm driving there tomorrow, 6.5 hours, and then the very next morning I have to wake up, drive back to Phoenix for 6.5 hour drive. Mm-hmm. Then I'm in Phoenix for the evening, and then the next morning I have to drive to Vegas with these same people, and that's about a 4.5 hour drive, and then the show for Vegas is at night. And then the next day I got to drive to San Diego, and the show's that day, and it's like another 5-hour drive. So I'm going to be really tired by the time I see you in LA.
Yeah, we're going to meet up in LA on Saturday. Are those guys going all the way to LA, or are they?
Lauren's only going to Vegas, and then once I get to Vegas, I'm meeting up with, well, Christine will be there, but then I'm meeting up with Megan and Bridget, who I also met on the swing tour. And then we're all going to San Diego together.
I mean, I can't, like, we're grown adults. And it doesn't honestly feel that much different. I mean, I think I can separate myself more. Like, it's easier for me to separate myself and look back at all the sort of like me as like a teenager and how it felt as a 20-year-old and a 30-year-old, but it's still like the actual feeling I get from the songs remains the same.
Me too.
And it's just great. And then the Twilight Sad opening up is wonderful. Like, I had honestly never heard them before. I was a little bit judgmental about their name. I thought it was kind of goofy.
I've never heard their music, so I'm looking forward to seeing them tomorrow. We're gonna make sure we get there in time because I've only heard good things about them.
Yeah, they're really good. They're very well suited for The Cure. Like, they have a very like rich, melancholic sound, and the lead singer is very believable, which I think is important when you pair up, like, for Cure fans. Like, there's a lot of concerts when it was just The Cure, so it was kind of perfect. And there was other bands like the Cranes opening up for The Cure were great, but a lot of times when you see them at festivals, it's just weird because some bands sort of front in a different way. That's not better or worse. It's just different than what The Cure is. And I think the Twilight Sad pairs with them very well. So Jennifer, I'm hoping that you'll take out your phone after the show and just record. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Good.
A little review.
Good.
A little review because I'm trying to get some kids, to talk about Dallas and Houston. I don't know if that's going to happen. But once again, you're listening to the Holy Hour podcast. This is Arusha from Push, a Cure fan documentary. And
Jennifer. Ultimate Cure fan.
The ultimate Cure fan from Ohio.
Should I say what number of show El Paso is going to be for me?
Yes.
My 101st.
Oh my God, that's so great.
Yeah, so my 100th show was actually Leeds Festival in England in 2012, and it was a festival, so, I kind of wanted like a special show for my 100th, but it was a festival, so they didn't get to play that long, and you know how it is at a festival, so I'm just really looking forward to like an actual proper Cure show.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. All right, let's get out of this heat.
Okay.
Talk to you guys soon. Over and out.
Jennifer, Lauren, and Christine for the Holy Hour podcast. We just saw The Cure in El Paso last night. It was an amazing show, amazing set list. There were a few technical difficulties, but I thought it sounded great. So, Christine, what were the highlights for you last night? The whole set list, probably Drowning Man, Snake Pit. It was the first time I'd seen that live, so that was exciting. The whole show was great. It was the first time I'd ever seen a show without singing jazz. To the deep green Me too. Which, I like that song, but it takes up a lot of time. So, no, it was amazing. I'm so glad I came to El Paso to see them for the second time, which is crazy. But, I had a great time. How about you, Warren? What were the highlights for you last night?
Oh, the set list was great. The Drowning Man was a surprise and awesome. And I could hear Push 1,000 times live, and the 1,001st time I'd be just excited. Love that song live.
Yeah, it's a great one. I thought the audience was pretty good. A lot of people around me were singing and bouncing around, especially during the popular songs, obviously. So it was a lot of fun. I loved jumping up and down to that one. And the Drowning Man was great. I can't hear that one enough. What's really interesting to me is that It was my 101st show, but there are so many songs they played last night that I had never seen live, which was crazy. Like, or that I had only seen live like one time. You know, like The Drowning Man. I had seen that at Reflections, but that was amazing for me, and also Other Voices. I had also seen that at Reflections, but it was awesome to see it again. I had never seen Burn live. The Snake Bed, I'm not quite sure if I have seen it live. I haven't seen it very often live, but I also like seeing the Dream Tour songs, like the songs from Bloodflowers, just because it kind of made me, think about the whole Push documentary, Arusha's documentary, and reminded me again about the Dream Tour and us traveling to all the shows and everything. So I got a little nostalgic and wish some of those women were there with me. But so it was kind of cool. I like how they're doing the different themes. It seems like at the shows, like, they have like a Disintegration night where they play a lot of Disintegration songs, and then a Bloodflowers night and that kind of stuff. It's kind of interesting. But I really like how they're mixing up the set list so much and playing like a lot of fan favorites, like true diehard fan favorites. I really, really want to see The Exploding Boy. And also Burn That Girl, which we all discussed, and we want to see that. But anyway, we're driving right now. You can probably hear the semi next to us. We're driving from El Paso back to Phoenix. And then tomorrow is the Vegas show, so we're going to drive from Phoenix to Vegas. Really looking forward to that show because it's a smaller venue, and I'm going to get to see some people, some good friends I haven't seen in a very long time. So really looking forward to that. But so El Paso was great. Do you guys have any other thoughts you want to say? Or I was just gonna say I also really enjoyed all the Bloodflower stuff. Being from Seattle, they did not come to Seattle on the Dream Tour, so I did sing a lot of those songs live. They played Seattle in 2004 and just played a couple of Bloodflower songs specifically because they hadn't been there in 2000. So that was kind of nice. But I've only heard a few of those songs live, so I enjoyed all those too. Yeah, and I thought that they sounded pretty good. I mean, I forget which one it was. It might have been Watching Me Fall. It sounded slightly like slower, but I thought Bloodflowers sounded really good. I thought the Snake Pit sounded amazing. I was like, wow, blew me away, really. So, anyway, so do you have anything else?
I forgot to mention, we saw The Perfect Girl.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I feel like I remember all of them. Yeah, that's one of the songs I had never seen live. So, hello. How can I forget that? That was pretty amazing. Not pretty amazing. It was very amazing. So, anyway, that was a great highlight. So I'm so intrigued to see what else they're going to play on the tour. So, anyway, well, this is Christine, Jennifer, and Lauren signing off for the Holy Hour podcast, and hopefully we'll send you some other reviews after some of the other shows you go to. Bye.
Special thanks to Jeff, Jennifer, Lauren, Christine, and of course Arusha Baker, director, producer of Push, a Cure fan documentary. And you can find more information on this documentary at curefandocumentary.com. All the contact information for Arusha can be found there. So be sure to contact her and try to track her down if you're going to one of these Cure shows. Maybe your story can make it into the documentary, at least just to share with Arusha. You can also find her at CureFanDoc on Instagram. And while you're over at the main website, be sure to leave a donation too. Got to get this film out to the people. And I think once you see the trailer for this thing, you really want to see the whole thing. So leave a few bucks over there at CureFan Documentary. Check it out. But more importantly, just get in touch and follow it on these social media sites so you can track its progress. It's been going since 2000 on the Bloodflowers tour, so this is a pretty epic project in the works here. So thanks again to her for being so awesome about being out there for us and sending us these clips. Really, really appreciate it. And to everybody out there, hope you stay safe and enjoy these shows. Seems like we're just getting into the thick of it now, so there's more greatness to come. As for the Holy Hour, stay tuned, subscribe on iTunes. More episodes in the works. Donald just came down last weekend and we recorded a whole bunch of crazy shit. I don't know what's gonna make it out of all that, but got lots of editing to do. So we got regular episodes in the works too. So subscribe on iTunes, leave a review. You can find us on Instagram at The Holy Hour Podcast. And on Facebook, we have a Facebook page. So it's The Holy Hour Podcast on Facebook. So just punch that in and it's bound to come up. And join the group. And we post episodes there, and you can leave comments for the individual episodes in the thread there. So it's easy to just leave comments for one particular episode, not just the whole show. But that's cool too. And if you just want to drop me an old email, gavinconner@gmail.com is how you do that. So feel free to send us your stories from the tour, or just in Cure in general. Anything Cure related. We'd love to hear it. We'll read it on air, share it as much as possible. So until then, have fun out there, going to your Cure shows, listening to your Cure record albums, and get some sleep too. So talk hard.